only going to come through loving acceptance of our differences, calm discourse, and leading the way. It's never going to be, look, I beat you in a fucking debate. Now you're forced to eat my diet, or I'm going to beat you up, or I'm going to pass laws, or all of us animal ethicists are going to mob psychology. I mean, if anybody knows my personality by now, you know I'm anti-authoritarian. The only way that I think that this could work is by it being the way and leading by example. And enough people. That's why I think that it's still valuable and worthy to spread these ideas, because they do appeal to some people, and some people do want to know this information and just can't find it or grasp it or put it together. And those are the people that need to hear this the most. That way they know that it is a beautiful, worthwhile thing to fight for ethics and to try to go vegan. However, I would just want to make clear, I'm not trying to take the stance that every meat eater is going to hell, nor should they. There's a lot more evil fucking people in the world
Yeah.
that I got my sights set on than people who eat meat.
Somebody asked, I don't know anything about this, but they asked what your issue with women is.
I have no issue with women. I love women and I love men. Both have their own particular faults and weaknesses at certain times. Certain
Why do you
times.
like to bring women down then? All you do is degrade women every time you speak to them. It does like
Uh-huh.
it seems as if you can't speak to a woman without having to call her something degrading about her being a woman. So do you have like mommy issues? It's a serious question, by the way.
Uh-huh. Okay, for
You have
one, I've
mommy
been.
issues.
Okay, for one, no, I don't. I love and have forgiven my mother, Jesse Peterson style. I've overcome my mother and my father, which I don't know how many of you can say the same. Two, I speak very cordially and lovingly to lots of women.
No,
Um,
that's a lie.
three, hold on, please stop interrupting me. You can't speak for all women. You can speak for the women in this server, perhaps, but that's it.
Mhm.
Okay, and hold on, and that's the only interactions with women that you can judge. And
Mhm.
that, for fair context, has been against two girls who wanted to debate me and didn't really have a whole lot of strong points. So they were pretty circular arguments and kind of a waste of time. But I love you guys and appreciate the time,
Yeah,
and it was
and we
fun
both
anyway.
won with our
But
circular arguments.
yeah, you didn't win anything. That's completely
Oh,
delusional
really?
thinking. That's
Oh,
completely.
really?
If you want to vote American Idol style on it, then you maybe win. But if there's any objective logos to the assessment, then
So you
clearly
just
not. Okay, can I get back?
conceded.
Can I? Can
Yeah,
I? Can
go
I?
back. Go back.
I
Yeah,
didn't.
stop
I did
rambling.
not.
Go
I
back.
did not concede shit, girl. Trust me. If you want a round two,
If
we
we
can.
would
But
have voted, you would have won. That was your.
you no, 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 no. I said if you voted would be the only way you would have won, because you have enough friends here to take your side. That doesn't mean you won the
This
argument.
is a debate server. It doesn't matter if you have friends. It's about your argument,
No,
and
it doesn't.
I
No, it
think it was
doesn't. This
clear.
is
But anyways, go back to
no
your
this.
point.
Yeah,
What are
exactly,
your issues with
exactly.
women?
You don't want to debate the metrics of our argument. I know you don't. Okay, now back to my point. I have no issues
Mhm.
with women more than I have with beta stupid males. I have issues with out of control hissy women. Now I still love out of control hissy women, just like I still love passive aggressive beta males. But that doesn't mean that you guys don't have issues with. You probably have issues with your parents more than I do mine. Based on, I mean, like, okay, you asked me how my relationship with my mother is. She's kind of crazy, and she did some crazy things in my life, but I grew up and forgave her.
Explains a lot.
Hold on, no, I also grew up and lived with her and took care of her after that crazy childhood, and bonded with her and protected her through a lot of things and worked through all of that. So can I ask you the same thing about you and your father? What's your relationship like with your father?
Very good. I don't have issues with men. I don't sit here and
Uh-huh.
degrade man for being man like you do with women for
Uh-huh.
being female.
Okay,
I'm
and
not
my
the one who
okay,
sits. Don't interrupt
no,
me.
you made your
Don't
point. You
interrupt
made your
me.
point. You
Don't
asked me
interrupt
five
me.
questions.
Don't
You
interrupt me.
you
Don't
asked me five
interrupt me.
questions.
Don't
This
interrupt
is
me.
so cute.
Don't
So
interrupt me. Don't interrupt me. You done? Good. I don't sit here and degrade you for being female, or male for that sake, as you do with me. Because every response you had in my debate, right? Besides the like 5 minute rambling that was like totally unrelated to anything I said, it was just like you calling me names, or you degrading me for being female. And the same thing is what you did to Patty, and everyone saw it except for you. So, like, I already know that your debate with Steve will be completely different, and everyone here agrees to that.
can
Cause
I unmute
you,
Ari now?
yeah, cause you like to degrade women for being female, but you like to
Uh huh.
suck it up to men. It seems like you need like male validation, and it seems
Uh
like you
huh.
have mommy issues, and you know,
Uh huh.
want to take a dig at women. So yeah,
Is it my turn or is it moderator daddy time?
there we go.
Hey,
There we
Tiger,
go.
shut the
Another
fuck up. You're
response.
such a
Another
wank.
response.
Oh, God.
You
Here we
literally
go.
okay, right? Oh,
Here we
Mister,
go.
I
Here we
don't
go.
attack.
Here we go.
I don't
Here we
like it when
go.
people attack my dead relatives. I never go below the belt. I'll never talk about your
Can I
relatives that you just
talk
made a
now,
comment
you
about my dad.
dumbass tiger?
Oh, this is so
Mm,
adorable. All right,
there
do
we
you
go
want to hear?
again. Do you want to
Wait,
keep
to
him
be fair,
going?
before Bosch says anything, maybe let him respond to
Yeah,
Ari.
Yeah, go
yeah,
ahead, mommy
yeah.
issues.
There's already like 6 or 7 points here that are going unaddressed. I'm getting muted, so it's already getting pretty
Who
disingenuous.
muted you? Nobody muted you.
Somebody
Do you
did
want a
self-mute
screenshot of
him.
the? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Well, I didn't do
okay,
it, so I don't know
yeah.
who did it.
So you just lied. Okay, good. So you speak
You
for
want a
everybody.
screenshot from the audit log and
I
tell you who muted you? Because I didn't mute you.
uh,
Do you want to see
it
it?
wasn't
Do you want to see
Ari.
it?
I
Yawn.
did check who did it after I saw you muted. It wasn't Ari. So she
Yeah.
when she said nobody muted you, she genuinely thought
Yeah,
that
but
was the
she
case.
was
So
wrong.
she
She was
wasn't
wrong
lying.
like she is about. She's wrong about a lot of things. So maybe that's like a case in point about her thought process is that she has her mind made up about a certain point, like that no one muted me, and then I'm just lying about it, and
How
then she
should I
rails
know
off like
that
a
if I
previous.
didn't see it?
Okay.
Like,
How do you?
can you
Okay, maybe you should.
follow? Like, do you have a training?
But to be fair, I'm in here as well, and I didn't see you get muted. It must have been for a very short amount of time, and I don't know who did it. Brandon
It
obviously
was
does,
for
but
like 20 seconds or something.
It's not a big deal. It's
Anyway,
just a point.
yeah, I think you shouldn't go on a tangent about like muting people and stuff.
Trying to. I'm really trying to get back to the point of what Ari said
Yeah,
about
yeah.
mommy.
Yeah, go
So
ahead,
if you
mommy
want to
issues.
respond to that, then
Uh-huh. Yeah, for one, I've been in a healthy, happy relationship with a woman for almost 10 years now. Can you say the same about your relationship with men? Okay, and next point
What has
is I
that to
have a
do
lot of.
anything? Oh, wife beaters love
Well,
women.
yeah,
Wife
because
beaters
someone,
love
can someone,
women.
can
Hey,
That's why
someone
I
this
mute
is
her?
start
such
Hold
an
on,
cracking
I
up.
thought it was my
What's a
turn to talk.
woman?
Hold on, I thought it was my
Guys,
turn to talk. Where's the
Yeah, it
mute for
makes
them?
sense then.
Okay, yeah, see, this is
Hey,
mob
Tiger, how
psychology
is it
101.
shacking up with your
Mob
woman that you're
psychology
not
101.
respectful enough to marry?
Mob
It doesn't
psychology
make any
101.
sense. It doesn't.
Okay,
What mentality?
so
You want
now
me
I
to
need
move
to
you into a
now I
private
need to
VC?
now I need to talk to Bosch about marriage because this is a fucking feeding frenzy.
You think
You're
wife
all
beaters
you're
don't
so
have
pathetic.
wives?
let's
Like,
go one at
you
a
think
time,
wife
guys.
beaters
Seriously,
Okay,
don't have wives?
everybody can
Ari,
try to title line the fuck up.
okay, here's how we're going to do this. And I'm also going to, sorry, Ari, I'm also going to mute you too, just to make it fair. Here's how we're going to do this. Tiger is going to speak, and he didn't finish talking before Ari interrupted him. Ari, you're going to have to let him talk. And then when Tigerfire is done with his monologue, then Ari or Bosch or whoever wants to go next gets a turn. But you all can't talk at the same time.
I think we should not let Bosch speak until they hashed out these points.
That's fine. So after Tigerfire, we'll let Ari respond. That's a good point, Brandon. So I'm going to unmute Tigerfire and Ari, and I'm just going to expect you guys to not interrupt.
Sure, I just like having chill combos with people one-on-one. Like you can, I mean, all right, they're good. Like just chill. Like nothing any of you has to say is gonna scare me. So just relax and come one at a time, and I'll pat your bottoms and make you feel better. All right, now moving on. Bosch, for the record, I was born and bred in Texas. You moved to Texas, so I'm more Texan than you, bitch. Moving on. Ari, another point is that I have something to speak on functional relationships. Do you? Have you been in a 10-year relationship with a man who's been able to deal with your spouse?
Matter.
Why are you interrupting? It was a rhetorical question. Yeah, and yes, it does matter.
Okay.
Yes, it does. If we can question how each other views the opposite sex, then everything should be fair and on the table. If you can question my relationships, I can question yours. If you can question my parents, I can question yours. All's fair in these discussions. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. And another point is I've discussed issues with a lot of women that have a lot more intelligent reasoning than you do. You use emotional reasoning. Yeah, you use emotional reasoning. So having a conversation with you ends very quickly because it's one, circular, two, it's biased, and three, it's very uninformed. You haven't ever explored anything outside of your bubble girl dome in your entire life. And it's very clear by the way it's very clear by the way you view the world and you debates and view all human confrontation. It's very much like a child on the internet who's just trying to get points with their friends. And that's cute, try to get some points with your friends as best you can. Get all your little simps like Bosch and Brenda and Server Mumzilla to all ban me and mute me and talk shit to me, and you guys can all circle through. I really don't care, but you still lost, and you lose every time you step up to the play. Next.
You are
Okay.
generally one of the people I genuinely hate.
That's cute.
Okay,
Okay,
so all right, Tigerfire, you're done.
Wait a minute. Am I a simp? I don't recall like ever muting you or banning you. I just tried
Exactly,
to keep
that
the
was-
conversation on track.
Yeah, but he doesn't understand moderation, like he doesn't understand it. So, anyways, yeah. Okay, can I respond now?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Good. Perfectly. Fine.
Hey, Tiger, do you know the definition
Bosch.
of simp?
Wait a
Stop.
minute,
Bosch.
Bosch. Tiger, that doesn't make sense to counter an argument with, oh, you treat women here in this environment poorly and degrade them with, oh, I have a wife. Have sex, like sexist people can have wives, you know that. Wife beaters. Wife beaters, do you know what the name means? It means they beat their wives. Do you think they don't have wives? You think they don't have relationships? It doesn't matter if you have a relationship or not. There are women out there who are submissive enough to stay in abusive relationships. It doesn't matter.
Sure.
And it's not about how you treat your wife at home. I don't know how you treat your wife at home. I don't want to know, and I don't care. I care about how you treat women in this debate server, and you treat them like shit. And you have some sort of like complex where you need to put others down to push yourself up, and it's a bit disgusting. And not quite frankly, I don't like how you acted in our debate. Like, it's okay, you've lost. You don't need to be salty about it. Like, you don't need to sit here and call me a little girl and tell me to suck your cock and tell me I'm stupid and whatnot. It's a bit like, it's not really funny, is it? It's not funny to call me a little girl who's stupid and tell me to suck your cock afterwards. It's a bit like,
When did I tell you to suck my cock? When did I tell you?
Literally before all of these people joined, you told me, like, Brandon was here, you can confirm it. Like, there's no need to lie. You said, no, I thought we didn't want to be interrupted. I thought you didn't want to be interrupted. So why are you interrupting me, right?
Okay, you didn't answer when I said it. That's fine.
Yeah, good. So all I'm asking you, right? I don't want your wife to come here and speak to me and tell me that you're good to her and nice to her. I don't care. Tell your wife hi from me. Tell her to have a good day from me. That's fine. I just need you to, for the next time you like debate me or Patty or any other woman in here, to be a bit more respectful, right? That would be nice. Because like it's really tiring to sit here. First of all, we have to listen to you ramble for like 6 minutes to things that are totally unrelated to the debate proposition, and then have you just go, well, you're not wise enough to speak to me anyways because you're a woman and you're a little girl and you're stupid. It's a bit like unneeded, right? So yeah, I don't think you need to respond to that. This is like also me as an admin telling you it's tiring for all of the debate. Good, then do that, but I won't be here for that because I don't care. I'm just telling you as an admin, right? I'm just like, I'm not done. I'm just telling you as an admin.
Oh, so you get the last words and then you get a run? Okay.
You like, I can stay here for your response.
Tiger.
Can I leave like after your response? I'm telling you as an admin, right? Respect your opponent the next time, because all you do is sit there and degrade them. Oh yeah, of course he left.
He really
ran.
Funny.
He ran away. Like, am I not lying? Literally, like Patty and I, right? We were the first people and the last people who debated him, and all he did was degrade us. Like, it's not funny.
I think, like somebody mentioned in the chat earlier, that this is why he doesn't want to be recorded.
Yes,
well,
definitely.
You know,
contradicted himself every time he speaks.
Yeah, like I know that Patty and I, we don't take it personally. It's just it gets in the way of conversation, right? Not only does he wants us to not moderate him, right? He requests us, oh, okay, I'm gonna debate you, but you're not allowed to moderate me. So then we sit there and we have him ramble for like 6 or 7 minutes about nothing related to the topic, right? Like in my debate, I always ask him the same question, and it went off of like, oh, you know what, these fucking scientists and water and fucking electromagnetic field. It was nothing related to the proposition. And then at the end, he sprinkles something like, oh, but you're not wise enough to understand that because you're a little girl. And if you want me to be your daddy and show you the world because you're a little girl and you need the help from a strong man. Fucking hate women. And it's like, okay. And I'm not allowed to say anything to that because he doesn't want to get moderated.
Well, whether he wants to get moderated or not is beside the point. Like, I mean, we do like low moderation here, but that doesn't mean no moderation. If somebody's doing that, then of course moderate them, and if they leave, they leave. It doesn't matter.
He's back.
Hey.
Yeah, he sometimes has connection. Oh yeah, he sometimes has connection
Hey,
issues.
sweetie.
Yeah, you gonna rant?
Did
with...
you beat your wife in the last couple seconds you were gone?
I did. I really had to get her some bruises to get rid of all this aggression.
Oh,
She'll not...
lovely. Did you call her a stupid little girl as well?
Yeah, there's some holes in the drywall.
Okay, this is getting so far away from what another one of my original points is to you, is that it's really disingenuous that in a whole internet of the most toxic, horrific arguments and ways that you can hear people talking to each other, that me literally like using phrasing like calling you darling or sweetie or some, I'll admit it's demeaning, but really, like out of 10, where would you put that on the scale of internet harshness?
It's about being called a stupid little dumb girl who's not wise enough to talk to.
I didn't say that ever.
And
I said that.
Yeah,
no,
you
hold
did.
on,
You called me stupid
okay.
like
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this. This is objective.
Mm-hmm.
On your own personal scale, how mean do you think I have been to you on a scale of 1 to 10? 10 being the most nasty, true misogynist, evil piece of shit that could be on the internet is a 10. Where do you think I have been on how I've treated you?
I think we should grade it on degrading, not mean.
Okay,
mean is a different thing. Mean is like spiteful.
Okay, let's call it, I'm just saying a way that you don't like to be treated. How badly was it? Let's call it degrading. How bad does that rank up with the worst way a person could treat you on the internet?
Well, that's not related to degrading. On a degrading scale, right? Why would you?
No. On a way a person could talk to you on the internet. We're two people who are on different sides of the fence on issues, so it's clear we might have some biases or emotional responses to each other. Everybody does.
Yeah,
we shouldn't
like you
grade
not
it on
liking
one
women,
metric.
and whenever a woman talks, I don't like it. Yeah, emotional response. Yeah, mommy issues.
Can you answer the question? Like, this is the
yeah,
reason why.
I wanted to, but then you interrupted me.
It's just
can I answer?
Number out of 10,
yeah.
you're trying to move the goalpost to a place where you're comfortable answering. Why don't you just answer my question?
Because it's a different thing.
No,
it's not.
No, it's not. The issue is that I'm some bad vibes douchebag that treats you poorly. I would like to know where that ranks up compared
to women in
I'd
general.
give it an 8. I'd give it an 8. A good 8.
Genuine.
I would give it like a 7.
You're gonna say an 8 out of 10 being the worst. That's pretty fucking.
Yeah, because you're degrading. Because you're degrading to us.
That might be a little sign right there of emotional sensitivity, because I think the general consensus of the internet would judge my vernacular with you two as being really fucking.
I didn't
really
even do anything.
Tiger.
All I
We're
had.
not on 4chan. We're not on 4chan.
Okay.
I'll admit the worst.
This is
We're
turning
not
into
on 4chan.
Guys,
We're not on a stupid little internet forum. We're in a debate server debating, and you calling us all of these degrading names is out of place. You not get that? Are you like literally trying to not get it? Is that like your goal?
guys,
We're not on 4chan. We're not on
guys,
fucking internet forum. We're on a debate server trying to have.
Let's take like 10 seconds to breathe. Okay, I actually can't understand either of you. You're talking over each other.
Yeah, you need to take turns, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to unmute Ari so she can give Tiger his answer, and then I'll unmute Tiger.
Okay, so I'd give it a fucking 7 because it's fucking degrading and doesn't fit into the server, right? It's like, it's not that we are on a fucking YouTube comment section and you can call each other a fag like you did to Eden or whatever. We're in a debate server and we're trying to have intellectual schedules, like schedule conversations with each other, and it gets in the way if all you do is degrade us. It gets in the way. And also for your next debate, since you don't like being moderated and your only request to debate is to not be moderated and or recorded, I would like you to keep your rambling at like maybe 3 minutes maximum, because our debate was painful, because I just had to sit there and listen to all the shit that was totally unrelated. So this is me as an admin, right? I'm an admin. I've been an admin in here for ages. I'm telling you, stop degrading your like debate opponents. Yeah, I'm telling you.
Okay, well, I have
Do you want me to write it down? Do you want me to write you a message like do you want me to type this out? Do you want me to take a piece of paper physically? I have paper here. Do you want me to write it down? I will. I
got you, Big
telling
Mama.
you,
I'm
right?
scared.
I'm telling you, stop
scared, Big
degrading
Mama.
your debate opponents and respect admins.
Respect your authority.
Respect
Okay.
admins when they tell you to shut up in debates, because you didn't do that with me. Because you were rambling and talking over me, and you didn't respect what I said to you. Yeah, probably because I'm a woman.
Yeah.
You don't respect women.
Yeah.
So once again,
guys, before you like move on from here, so to me it sounds like he's saying that he wasn't degrading to you because you're a woman. It's because of like these other contentions, and he would have done the same if you were a man. Like I heard he called Eden a faggot or something. So it
well,
seems
that's
like
different.
yeah.
No, it's not on. And I would make my point is that you guys were degrading me from the moment Patty introduced me to this server. It was literally like you're being
Did I
so
degrade you in a
intellectually.
debate? It's
Please
about
don't interrupt me.
debating.
Please don't interrupt.
It's different
No, please let me talk.
than say sense.
Okay,
That
so
makes
now
sense.
you're gonna
Ari,
scream.
don't interrupt him, please.
I was calm and waited, and all I said was and now it's my turn, and you're freaking out. See, this is where you got authority issues. Yes, let's see how long I can go talking before it spurs you out and you trigger all your friends to mute me so you can once again preach at me because you want to be my mom. It ain't happening.
Remember,
Now,
kids.
what
Wait,
my point
Tiger,
Yeah, you
in any hold on, no, you may not. Be quiet. Be quiet. In what way, while I was moderating, did at any time I give Ari precedent over you that was unjust?
I'm not saying you did, Patty. I'm not coming at you right now. I'm saying Ari is appealing to mods and authority, and
She's not appealing to the mod. I am the mod right
Yeah,
now. Be quiet. Be
yeah,
quiet. I am the mod right now. I have not done anything unjust. So don't appeal to the mods yelling about unfairness. I've been perfectly fair to you.
That's not what I'm saying. You're seeing it from a too zoomed in. What I was saying is that Ari, by saying respect admins, respect them when they tell you to shut up and all this, is what I'm railing against. I'm not saying you have done anything wrong moderating this discussion right now. You haven't.
Okay.
You muting
Well,
me, muting
take
her
your
has been
argument.
completely fair.
Take your argument. Stop with the meta. Take the argument that
What?
you want to actually argue and have a conversation with Ari. I'm tired of the meta. You do it again, and I will mute you for 10 minutes. How about that?
Wow. All right.
I'm waiting.
Oh, are you? It's really cute putting me in a bunch of chains and then laugh at me for not responding the way I naturally would. It's cute. What was the point that you wanted a response to? Or do you want a response?
It's different.
Do you just want to come in here and chastise me? I'm not hearing questions.
Because let me finish, perhaps? Maybe?
You are the one supposed to ask it, Tiger.
All right, what's the question?
Bosch.
I'm getting thrown off by this dialogue here. It's so disingenuous.
Yeah, so from my understanding, right, Patty didn't want him to talk about meta. He wanted like Tiger to make his point. So maybe he's lost track of what his point was. So like, if Ari
I've been
asked a
getting
question
I've been getting gangbanged.
wait, Tiger. Yeah, so if Ari asked him a question previously, then maybe she could repeat that so that he reestablishes like where he was and can respond to that.
And I'll appeal to you, Brandon. Didn't you notice how this conversation was different when it was just you here asking me questions and trying to get and me asking you questions in return? You notice how the dialogue changed?
Yeah, I noticed a dialogue change. I think there's more contention between you and other people in the server than there is between you and me.
Well, my point is that if people approached me a certain way, they wouldn't get crazy angry Tiger. If you approach me a certain way, and I would make the argument that I haven't gone past, in my way of talking shit has not gone past any of the rules or boundaries that other people talk to each other on this server and all over the internet. And I'd say it's really disingenuous to say that I'm a 7 out of 10 on the worst that a person on the internet could be, when literally you guys guys, multiple people here set the tone for the relationship from the moment Patty ran to her friends to show the person bullying her and screenshot all my texts. I was like, oh, you're going to come here, be a Moni cup now, you little bitch, you little simp, all this different things like that. And so that immediately let me know the level of discourse I was walking
Tiger, the
into.
reason I brought you in
Hold on,
here.
hold on. You're interrupting.
Oh,
You're
oh,
interrupting.
I'm sorry.
You're interrupting. You're interrupting. Thank
Okay.
you. Thank you. Wait your turn, please. My point and wrap up to that was is that you guys, yeah. Oh, that's so cute. Do you get muted? Oh no, you got the authority. You got the badge. It's adorable. No cop will arrest a fellow corrupt cop.
Let's try and keep on track. So,
shut the fuck up. I've been trying to be really nice to you, Patty, and trying to bury the fucking hatchet, and you still want to hold the grudge.
I didn't say that. Brandon just said that. I didn't say that.
My point being is that I'm not trying to hold serious blood grudges with anybody here. I'm trying to play around, defend myself in a way that I feel is respectable and reasonable, but also lets people know, hey, you're not going to fucking bully me just because I'm a conspiracy theorist or think the earth is flat, and then have a little fun along the way in the same way that everybody on the internet jibes and chides each other, and also defend my points adequately and accurately in a sea of other emotional responses that make it difficult to have a logical conversation with any of you.
wait a second, Eden. I don't want to be rude, but I don't want to keep the conversation between the two people that are trying to resolve certain things at the moment. So yeah, he's just explained why he thinks it was unfair for Ari to give him a 7 on that scale. So I think we should let Ari respond to that.
I think it's justified because we were once again in a scheduled debate trying to have a fucking intellectual conversation, and it's out of place to be this like degrading to your opponent, and that's why I'm telling you should stop doing that because it gets in the way of having good conversations.
I agree with that.
Yeah, then stop doing it. How is it that hard? Like, I didn't call you single name in that debate. I only called you baby girl back because you called me a baby girl for like 500 time, and so I called you baby girl back, and that's all I did. And all you did was like call me multiple names, and it's like you didn't do that with me only. You did it to Patty as well, and it gets in the way of having good conversations. So it was just me telling you, right? Let the degrading names out of the good
Wait a second, Tiger.
Let the degrading names out of scheduled debates. Right? I don't care how you act towards me in the fucking general chat, but I do care how you act towards me when I'm trying to debate you because it gets once again in the way of conversation. So yeah, I think and that's why I gave you 7, right? I told you we're not on 4chan, we're not in the YouTube comment section. We were in a scheduled debate. So yeah, out of the scale like 1 to 10, how inappropriate you were, I would give you 7 in a scheduled debate. So that's it. And Patty gave you an 8 for the same reason. I think so. She can like correct me next time.
And I guess to counter that, I would say my score to you two on being genuine discussion, people who want to have a real discussion, I would say Patty was mostly just on the defensive and wanted to get rid of an attacker and a bully with her group of friends. So I'd say her desire to have a true discussion and how that represented itself in the way she chose to speak was probably about a 3, probably about a 3 or 4 maybe, about truly trying to understand another point across the aisle and come to some understanding. Probably 3 maybe. And then you, Ari, I'd say you did a little better because you came into it with the idea that you were going to have a debate, but I'd still probably only say 4 or 5 because your argument fell pretty quickly. You didn't respond to any of my logical points, and you were you didn't can I finish, please?
Yeah,
can
wait
I finish?
a second,
Can I finish, please? You didn't insult me overtly, but you were still very curt and terse and hyped and very anxious right from the beginning of the discussion. I tried to, just like with Patty, I always try to make sure a discussion comes in cool where, hey, how's it going? How's your day going? Oh, nice weather here. Just sitting here chilling. How are you? Okay, what would you like to discuss? Let's have a chill talk. And you come in, okay, here's this, I got this, I'm all fired up and ready, and it's really kind of hurts my feelings a little bit. It's a little disingenuous. Hold on. Let me finish, because we actually had what I thought was genuine messages before that, hey, you agreed that you're like, oh, well, I don't need you to have a bunch of data and evidence. I just want to have a real conversation with you. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I'll try to appeal to as much science and studies that I've read as I can, so I don't just dump conspiracy theories on you that rely you to believe on me. I'll try to speak from as much scientific fact as I can. I thought that we were coming into it with a good nature with each other and that we were going to have a good discussion. And then the moment we got in there, it's like, I think there's two different Aries. I think there's the Ari when you're all around all your friends, which is a very common young person problem. And then I think there's the Ari when you're alone and you are having a real discussion with somebody. And I think that those are two totally disparate approaches. And I think it's very disingenuous for you to act like, oh, there's two situations. There's us all talking shit on you and calling you a nonce all day, every day on the chat. And then when you finally get a chance to defend yourself or your views, you're supposed to come in with no hot blood, no fire, make sure not to remember all the times we talk shit on you and all the stupid fucking assessments we made of your points without you getting to respond to them. And you're not supposed to have any passion or fire for that at all. I think that's very disingenuous. And I would argue that that's the main tactic you guys are going to take for this. Probably not SD, but most of you are taking the approach of trying to castrate me rather than trying to actually beat my Tiger strength and be bigger and stronger and smarter and realer than me. You just want to castrate me and chain me down and give me the Aslan treatment like Chronicles of Narnia because you're all fucking scared of my ideas. Next.
Can I
Wait,
respond?
before you just say next, I guess let's let Ari make a response, and if you don't want to continue the discussion with her after that, then that's fine. But
I'm
let's
not
be
running.
fair.
I'm not running from anything. But yeah, she can have as many responses as she wants. I don't ever try to get the last word and say, "Oh, you cannot respond. I'm going to run away so you can't respond." I don't do that piece of shit.
I think it just came across like
No.
how Mr. Batman says next, and then he just
yeah, for sure. That's his pussy way. I'm saying next is in then none of what she had to say was a threat to me. So bring up another threat.
Okay. My turn now, right? Good. The way I like, obviously I'm gonna be cordial towards you in DMs because I have no reason not to be cordial towards you. And of course I'm gonna come into the debate with a little bit more of like an aggression, I guess, towards you because I'm trying to win a debate after all, right? We were debating and I was trying to come in strong and forceful as every other person would. And I didn't I had an opening statement, so I think that was what you were referring to when I went, this is this and that, because I was I was clarifying stuff in my opening statement just so we wouldn't have to run over certain issues later on. I just want to get it all off at the
I'm sorry, did you cut out?
maybe I did.
Yeah, I think she did.
That was the last thing you heard me say.
Your opening statement and what you were trying to wrap up, you were trying to clarify with it.
Yeah, I think that's what you meant. Like, of course, I'm gonna come in there and see somewhat like forceful because I have an opening statement, and I just wanted to get all these things out of the way. So I don't know why you think that was like a threat, or I was like, I don't know. It's unrelated. The like 1 to 10 scoring thing you did is completely unrelated because I scored you on how cordial, like how degrading you were in our debate to say, and you graded me on something like you just gave me a grade on how you personally think I performed our debate. If I would have to score you, I would give you 0. Like you see how like unrelated that is. It's not about that. It's about how disrespectful I was towards you in our debate, and I didn't call you a single name. I didn't like make fun of you for being a man or whatever. So there's the difference. And yeah, I think we can stop it at now. Tell your mom you love her.
But I want a response. So
you can respond, but I probably won't respond.
Actually, I wanted to respond.
That's fine. Patty, go ahead.
Yeah, no, only reason why I want to respond is because you put my name in your mouth. So what I was going to say was that the reason I brought you in here was because you had a complaint about the way that I modded in another server in which you were doing the same thing here, being a complete disruption, being obnoxious, and being rude to other users. So I muted you, and you brought that complaint into my DMs. And I said, well, if you want to discuss this, if you want to like complain about this and have an actual, no, I'm sorry. Yeah, you brought that complaint to my DMs. And then you said that you wanted to have a unrelated debate about veganism because I compared harvesting an animal to me harvesting a carrot, and you caught an attitude about that. So I said, okay, since politics Discord server really isn't about that, I said you can come to this server that I'm very active in, which is here, and we talk about this kind of stuff all the time. And so you said, okay, right? And we had that debate. Throughout that entire debate, you were condescending, you were annoying, you were not addressing my points. You would bring up stuff that had you would bring up stuff that had absolutely nothing to do with what I fucking said. And then not only that, but you were condescending to me as a woman. Like you were just straight up condescending, constantly calling me emotional, constantly insulting me, insulting the other users who weren't even a part of the conversation. So like you really want to come in here and act like you're some sort of fucking victim. You're 30 fucking something years old. Like grow the fuck up, dude.
I am no victim at all.
Okay, then stop acting like one. Okay, stop acting like one. And you want to sit here and you want to talk shit about the women in the server. You want to sit here. You like fucking suck. Oh my God. You fucking sucked SD's cock like 2 days ago in this fucking server. And I bet it was because he was a man. Seriously. You fucking sat there acting like a fucking puppy on its back in front of SD, complimenting him, sucking the fuck out of his underwear, and then you want to sit here and you want to talk shit to people like me and Ari. Like, fuck you, dude. Don't fucking come up in here with that bullshit, for real. No,
All right, let's give him some breathing room, Patty.
I'm done.
FR 100 100. You got it, sis.
Okay, so maybe it's best to just move on.
God forbid I go have a good day with my family at the river, swimming, getting stoned, eating good food, coming home, being in a good mood, and trying to chat it up.
Then go fucking do that. Go have fun in the river with your family. Go fucking do that instead of being in here. What a good old family man you are, dude.
I'm saying that when I can't. Yeah, you're so triggered. I'm saying that's why when I was talking to SD and everybody in chat the other day, I was in such a good mood. That's because none of the shit that I could possibly normally be irritated by with all the fucking retardation here was in a frame of mind to bother me. So you can say that sucking his dick all you want. I think it's really just that you're salty that he might put up a better argument than you, and that might earn my respect more, and that might get more decency from me because that
fucking try me, Tiger. Fucking try me.
Wait,
you fucking spurred. That's my point. Is why I rated you guys about how you.
Why is he still allowed to treat people like this?
Can I talk?
Okay, Bosch, I just temporarily muted you.
You're so triggered with your simping, dude. Get a girlfriend. Okay, my point being is that's why I rated you guys on your intellectual genuineness, because that's what affects how much I give somebody respect in an argument. If somebody comes to me and they're 10 out of 10 willing to have a discussion, I don't care how much they fucking disagree. If they're Mr. fucking Batman and Mr. Kit, they can compose themselves. Why do you think I'm in there chatting with them most of the time? I literally dump conspiracy theories on them, Book of Enoch, all kinds of crazy Jew conspiracies and shit in them, and they spurg out less than you fucking retards do. What does that say? Then maybe it's about the level of the discourse that gets me heated up and makes me think I just have to spit hot fire on a bunch of fucking spurgs who just want to circle jerk me on the internet because they have no personalities or ideas or strong stances of their own. My fucking point being is that's why I rated you guys so low. That's why you got such condescension from me. That's why I didn't take you too seriously. Not because you're a woman, but because you guys are fucking jokes of opponents.
What did I say in that debate that I had? Anything that I said in the debate that we had that was false? Name one.
All you did the entire time was basically appeal to biblical authority to say that it was right.
Except I didn't. I gave you multiple scientific evidences for evidence about how we view food, why I view food the way I is. I gave you philosophical explanations for it. You asked me about my religious views. You asked me that. I came to you and I gave you a secular reason for my viewpoint. So what did I say in that conversation that we had that was a joke of an argument? Tell me.
For one, I'm fine having this back and forth, but I just think it's really funny that you guys
don't derail. Tell me.
No, because I'll leave right now. I don't have to talk to you.
Then leave.
If you want to mute me because I don't answer.
Then leave.
Wait. To be fair, Patty,
I'm not your slave. I'm not your fucking slave.
Let's not do like this shtick where we keep. Wait, I know. I'm not like saying
She
what you might think I'm saying.
wants me
I
to
know.
answer a specific way
All
like
right,
Mr.
just
Batman.
let me finish, Tiger. That's exactly the point I'm trying to raise. Like, let's give him a little bit of room and not try and be like we don't want to be like ask yourself. No offense, babe, but it's like no, answer the question. Answer this. It's that sort
She's
of vibe
fucking
that we're
power.
giving
She's
off.
power drunk, is what it is.
Okay.
We don't need to talk about the reasons. Let's just let him respond. And
Yeah.
if
Why
yeah.
would I have?
Okay, well
debates
then
with
I'll
philosophers?
reiterate my question. I'll reiterate my question so that everyone in the room can understand that he's not going to actually answer it. What did I say when we had our debate?
I
What
heard
did
your
I
question.
said I'm going to reiterate it. So what did I say that was false or not a good enough answer? That wasn't a proper justification for my viewpoints, the thing that we argued about. What did I say?
It wasn't anything you said specifically, is that you had a preloaded argument of a couple points, which I admit it's not the weakest argument I've ever heard, but it was pretty weak. Like I said, only like a 3, and that was the end of it. You couldn't wrap your head around any abstract concepts. You couldn't get into the nature of philosophy or anything. You could only express your preloaded NPC view on it, and that was what was frustrating to me. And that wouldn't have made me condescending or demeaning to you. What made me condescending and demeaning was you laughing, you interrupting, you getting the mods on your side, me getting muted, multiple people getting to interrupt who I didn't even know, who weren't even the main mod. I had talked to SD. He had promised me ahead of time that he was the mod and there would be no other moderation. And there was interruptions, me getting muted, all this other crazy shit. So that's the reasons why you don't get me at my nicest and calmest is because you don't try. You want to come at me full fucking force, full of bullshit, which I may come forth full of strong conviction in my ideas. I'm not inherently out to call everybody retards and make fun of them for not being as fucking cool and ethical as me, as much as that may come across that way when I'm in the middle of a fight with a bunch of people who are ultimately just trying to shit on me and I gotta let everybody know who's the fucking king of the jungle. That's not what I want, or that's not what I'm trying to do, ever.
Okay, so here's my
Sorry, I have to cut in for just a second because what you just said is not quite correct, Tiger. The debate that you had with Paddy, I did moderate it, and you replied in DM saying that you thought that it was moderated fairly. So you're talking about the debate that I wasn't here for.
No. I'm not saying that even the moderators, but I'm saying in the very first discussion with Patty that you moderated it well, but a couple of the other mods and people who had permissions chimed in and interrupted.
Yeah, he's talking about because from my understanding, I was going to be the one who was moderating, and then at the start it was like, oh, they don't want moderation.
Yeah,
so I did chime in to try and keep the discussion on track and stop you like talking over each other.
I still want to know what was the loaded question or answer. Like I'm really not concerned with all this meta, like I'm a victim stuff. I want to know what was the loaded question or the loaded answer that I gave you.
No, I didn't say it was a loaded anything.
Yes, you did.
No, listen. Can you even follow what I'm saying? This is the real problem. Is I don't think that you're anywhere close to the same level as me to have these discussions.
But
I think
you
you're
literally
probably
used
a
the
really
word loaded.
Let me answer.
Wait a minute, Patty.
Let me answer. It's not loaded. You keep on flipping out. This is too emotional. How am I supposed to maintain a logical framework under these kind of emotional stimuli?
How am I supposed to maintain a logical conversation if you don't even own up to the things that you just said? You literally said it was a loaded answer, a loaded reasoning from my perspective about harvesting food.
Okay,
Am I
let me
crazy?
clarify.
Is he gaslighting me?
Can I clarify what my point, if nobody heard it before, was that your unwillingness or inability to confront abstract concepts like right and wrong, disattached from your normal framework, as in meeting somebody weird and crazy like me and actually being able to engage with any of the points. And I had many points that you didn't address at all, and many points more that I could have made that I didn't even get to because the whole discourse was too emotional. That's my main point.
I am not obligated to accept your reasoning or your baseline for your morality simply because you base it upon conspiracy and this idea that you think way beyond the stars or some bullshit like that. What? I'm not obligated to accept your reasoning simply via just because you want me to. I'm not obligated to do that.
No, but you are obligated to entertain it. That is what's called
No, I
debate.
am not. No, I'm sorry.
No?
How am I obligated to entertain your madness?
Okay, so you're telling me when two people get into what is called a good faith discussion on ideologies and philosophies or whatever deep issues, you're telling me that there doesn't have to be an equal or a willingness to see past your own viewpoint to try to gain empathy and see another person's worldview and thus to try to come to some sort of consensus or understanding. It seems like you approach debate as a battle where people just armor up on their ideology and see which one is stronger, like Mr. Batman.
No, to be clear, I entertained wanting to have a conversation with you, but then I realized that having a conversation with you would be futile because what you offer up to the conversation is pseudoscience. I asked you to back up the things that you said to me multiple times. You refused to do so. And then when I asked you more about your worldview, such as, do you believe in evolution? Do you believe in vaccination? You offered up pseudoscience. So at that point, I realized that I am not obligated to entertain pseudoscience or any ideas that cannot be backed up through science.
Okay, then that's a pretty short and inferior debate to just appeal to grand
Oh,
authority.
whatever.
To me, it sounds like she went into the she went into the debate not expecting your views to be as they were. So when she went into it, she didn't know she was going to.
And that's a concession. That's a concession. That's what that we call that defeat, baby.
Not
What?
necessarily a concession on the debate proposition. Wait, guys.
If you walk into an arena and you think you're going to fight a level 10 opponent and you get in and they're a level 100 opponent, then
No.
That's you can and then you say
Tiger,
I can't compete in this
Tiger,
arena.
I'm trying to be fair
said you
here.
couldn't compete.
Guys, I'm trying to be fair here. I don't want to have to mute you. So
Okay.
you could just decide like that after realizing what somebody's line of reasoning is, that you're not going to be able to have a productive conversation due to you coming from such different places in terms of like your worldviews and how you perceive things. So maybe at that point she decided, okay, I'm not obligated to entertain it.
And that's a concession because a level 10
but
opponent.
it's not a concession on the debate proposition.
No, it's a concession on the fight itself. It's a concession on the confrontation itself.
If you want to frame it that way, sure. But I think we should move past this point now. And
does any of this just
Sorry,
sound
I
like
just want to say real quick. No, I just want to say real quick that I cannot believe how fucking dishonest this dude is about this. That because someone is not obligated, that because someone feels that they are not obligated to entertain straight up pseudoscience that cannot be verified, that in that form they suddenly lose the debate because they don't feel obligated to entertain pseudoscience.
He wasn't saying it was.
It wasn't just that, but it was that you wouldn't address any of my criticisms. Any point I made about vampirism, the nature of human biology, what the meaning of the Bible stems from as far as ethics and how that could trickle down into human societal structures.
First of all,
I made many points that hold on, let me finish.
You're lying.
Please.
No, you're lying.
No. Okay, then counter me.
I did address your argument about vampirism.
Counter me. Okay. Counter me when I'm done. I want to hear it. My point being is that it's not just that you didn't entertain my craziness. Like I'm expecting everybody in a discussion to come sit down in the rocking chair on the point with crazy old Tiger and like, oh, like here, hear these conspiracy theories and shit. No, it's like I'm just saying that that's one part of a real debate. Is that how are you going to argue from a place if you don't even understand what your opponent's position is? You have to at least be able to explore and ask questions and say, okay, well, do you believe in this? Would this be right? Well, how does this contradict with this? Like a lot of other people I've had this discussion with can do. And that's why I give you guys such a low debate score, is you didn't really try to intellectually investigate my position. You just clutched your pearls in righteous indignation and said, oh, I didn't know I was going to have to defend my true ethics. I thought I was just going to get to talk about meat and farming for an hour. And
so first of all,
hold on. And my second metric for a real discussion is not just coming in and entertaining my ideas, but listening to entertaining my claims that you're wrong. And I had multiple points to show that you're wrong and things that you're saying are fucking bullshit or based on some wrong authority or based on some misunderstanding, and you just clutched your pearls in indignation and ran away from them. So it's not just that you didn't come entertain my conspiracies, it's that you didn't address any of my claims either.
So first of all, I did address your points. First of all, I addressed your points about asserting that I argued the convo was in good faith. And the reason why I know this is because I wrote every single one of your fucking points down, buddy. I have it right here. I addressed the difference in human biology. I addressed vampirism. I addressed slaughter being hidden. I addressed my Christian values. I addressed the concept of pets. I addressed the argument that you made that the God of the Bible is different from God of Jesus. I addressed the argument that you made that animals are gross or demonic simply because they do not appeal, they do not have human morality. I addressed your argument of thou shalt not kill. I addressed your argument that nobody wants to do this, aka slaughter. I addressed the argument that humans and wild pets can interact together. I wrote every single one of your fucking arguments down. You're not going to sit here and fucking lie. And I'm going to take a picture of it too. And what I'm going to write in the caption of that picture is this bitch. That's what I'm going to write.
Okay, well, I see what you
guys,
did.
I don't think this.
See what. Hold on. I see what you did there. What you did was you responded to what you did was you wrote down every time you responded to me, and yeah, you did respond, and it was typically a one sentence answer, typically followed by you hooting and laughing, and then clutching your pearls and saying, "I can't believe this. I shouldn't have to deal with this. This is nonsense." Every one of those points that you said you addressed, you shit talked on. That's all you did. You didn't go into any of those. There was no chance for me to cross-examine you on any of those fucking points that you just listed. Every one of them was me making a claim, you saying, no, because of this is stupid, and then we got trailed onto the exact next fucking point. And that's why I see you as such a disingenuous opponent. It was like a fucking carnival ride of going from one point to the other that I had to say with as little involvement and investigation as possible. That's why it's a fucking joke.
Can we move
right,
on?
Bitch, all you
Before
want.
I go nuclear on this
Patty,
yeah.
Patty, before you respond.
You know what I get a point on is that I try to be nice to you and start fresh every day, and you hold grudges. I win.
All right. Before you respond, Patty, I think we should wrap up this conversation because it's not going to get anywhere, and we don't have a recording to prove anything.
Why?
And we should let.
I'm sure lots of other people have things to say.
Yeah, I know. Bosch, for example, wants to talk to Tiger.
You wrap up me and Patty. I got you.
Pardon?
I said, oh, you mean wrap up me and Patty bitching back and forth. I got you. That makes sense.
Yeah. Just because I know that this isn't going to go anywhere, and it's just going to be
I'll end it with Patty. I love you. It's all good. Have a good day.
Yeah. Okay. I hope Patty doesn't feel like I'm limiting her ability to talk. It's just I know that this won't go anywhere. So Bosch,
let's
if
move
you
on.
want to mic up now, then you can make any points that you want to make.
I don't know. The guy doesn't like women, and you can tell by the way he speaks to them. I mean, I don't know in his heart what he feels, but by his actions and words, he definitely doesn't like them because he treats them completely different in a conversation than a male. I've noticed that. And yes, I am a simp. You keep calling me a simp. So yeah. The Texas thing, I don't really care that I'm not a true Texan.
If you treat women a little rougher, they like it. They might like you more.
I didn't hear what you said. You broke up.
Yeah, he said.
I was just making a joke, homie.
Yeah. And you interrupted me because you like saying that to other people.
I'm sorry. Go on.
I don't really think you should be in the server because you're an asshole and you don't ever take up for what your actions that other people tell you did. And because there's not a recording, because you don't want to own up to what you say later on, we can't prove it other than by word of mouth. Don't interrupt me, damn. I said don't interrupt me.
Yeah, Tiger, let him finish what he wants to say.
You asked me to say some stuff. I was like, okay, don't interrupt me. Why do you interrupt people when you are so pissed about being interrupted?
You're completely right. Continue.
I'm sorry I bring up your relationship. I won't ever do that again. It's fine. It's not my business. And anything to do with your family, I'm not hateful enough to want to bring shit like that up. You know, it's not my business. I don't know. I'm pretty new here, and I never debate people. So, I don't know anything really about what you believe because, I mean, I guess you're a vegan or a vegetarian, and I don't. I'm just here because I like some of the people and a lot of the people in here, and I found you to be completely rude. I mean, and very mean. And I don't like the word sexist a lot, but you're very sexist. And I'm done.
Okay, you can go ahead and respond now, Tiger.
Yep. I just wrote a list down. I really do need to just write lists down more, and then I wouldn't get so overloaded. All right, let's see. It's from Texas thing or whatever, you know. Hey, fucking, I'm a real cowboy. What do you expect? You espouse Texas virtues. This is cowboy mentality. Two, you said you're a simp and that I treat women poorly or whatever. I made the joke maybe you should treat women a little rougher around the edges. They might like you more for it, and that was not about abusing them, but to some degree, I have found that women do tend to like guys that stand up to their maternal authority. Guys who have mommy issues and they just simp for women hate that shit, and I don't do that. And I would rather a woman hate me, and a lot of time, and rather than simp for them. But that doesn't mean that I have any inherent views about women that are negative. I love women. There's many strong women that are physically stronger than me. There's some fucking She-Hulk women out there that could break my ass in two. There's smarter women that have studied science and could fucking school my ass on biology or a million things. I completely acknowledge that. But that doesn't mean that just because I talk to women a certain way means that I'm against them. I'm not a misogynist. I just talk to women and I talk to men in different ways because one are my brothers and one are my sisters. Sorry that I view them differently, but that doesn't mean that I view them as anything less. Another point is about the marriage and personal things. I appreciate that. I could have discussions with you about the nature of marriage and legality and all that. I don't hide anything about the way that I live. Anybody can discuss anything with me that they want, so that's fine. But I appreciate you not trying to go for it in a nasty way, because even if I try to talk about people's personal lives and figure out how they live, it's because I want to understand them more, not so I can find ammo to abuse them over. And the last one you're saying is that you don't think that I should be here. Is like, well, I don't think that for one, ultimately, if I get banned and kicked, that's fine with me. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it. My mission will move ever onward, and you guys will just look like a bunch of authoritarians, because I really think that a human consensus would say that, this dude really isn't that bad. He may be a bit of a braggart and a bold, arrogant asshole, and he may interrupt and be angry and have some flaws, but I really don't think he's really trying to hurt anybody's feelings. And I think that the fact that I use, like the language I use with Patty and Ari, is an expression of the fact that I care rather than a sign that I don't care. And I think that's maybe a problem with this feminist new age, is every single bit that a masculine man can do to try to show his love for women is completely misinterpreted and completely shit on. So instead of having a debate with a disingenuous retard who's only a level 3 or 4 for me, who's a guy, and I might absolutely shred him and make fun of him in front of everybody, instead with Ari and Patty, I tried to keep it as light and funny as possible, and like I said, I'll admit to the demeaning bit. But I'd say out of all the things that you can do to your opponent in a debate, some humorous demeaning, a little bit of demeaningness, and it was very slight, is, I'd say, quite acceptable. And at the end of the day, if you guys all vote to kick me out or whatever, that's fine. Enjoy your echo chamber of always being right.
All right. I don't know if Bosch has any response to that. Do you?
No, I just I guess he had brought up something to do with me when I said something about being a simp, and I should be more aggressive towards women, which is
no. The world is plenty big enough for some knights in shining armor, bro. Be that.
Tiger.
If you're gonna mischaracterize it, I'm saying it's not a real problem. I'm not saying that
I'm not hearing you, dude, because I was trying to say something.
Whatever, go.
I can't hear you and think at the same time. I'm sorry, I don't work that way. Can you shut the fuck up, dude? Please respect me. I mean, I don't, not as a person, but as a person trying to talk to you. I didn't interrupt you.
I do, bro.
yes, I have problems with women because they intimidate me, especially if they're really sweet and kind. Yeah. But yeah, in real life, I can be fucking very assertive and aggressive. Aggressive meaning getting what I want and knowing what women probably want to hear.
For
But
sure.
yes, I have problems in relationships. It's no big deal. And
We all do.
yeah, I am a simp. I mean, I've been on Discord for a year and a half, and it's a different world from what I've ever experienced. And I just don't like people. I don't know. It just gets me that you're an American speaking like this to a lot of foreigners. It just ticks me off. But you know, there's a lot of Americans like that. But you are a very sexist person, at least in here. I don't know about your, like I said earlier, in your true heart, what you feel about women. And one last point, if you truly cared about someone you loved, you would make a relationship commitment vow with them. The end.
Okay, I can appreciate that argument on the marriage point or whatever. We can go into that another time. My main point is that yes, I get I'm a loudmouth asshole American cowboy, but I don't think I'm a real misogynist. I mean, and I have these fights with real misogynists all the time. Like I may look like a real asshole, but you put me in a room with any of these fucking retards, and you'll see me go crazy tiger on them too. You put me in a room full of Nazis, and I'll shred them. You put me in a room full of misogynists who genuinely talk shit and they are evil to women, I will shred them. You put me in a room with people who are evil to anybody, whether they're pagans, atheists, religious people, whatever. I just don't like fucking bullies and real psychopaths and real mean people. And I would argue that I'm not a really mean person. And I think that anybody that knows me in real life and has known me for any amount of time knows that. And that includes the myriad of women that I have known and still know throughout my entire life that can see through I mean, hey, some men are Beauty and the Beast style, some men like you are like knights in shining armor, and your karmic challenge is to get bigger and stronger and, earn that respect as a knight who actually defeats the dragon. That's awesome. I love that. That's what some men need to do. I love chivalry. I think chivalry is a great philosophy. And then some men like me are like Beauty and the Beast. I got a fucking raging monster inside me, and, women who truly have calmness and love and goodness in their souls can see me for the good person I am beyond the beast. That's my only point. And I would agree, everybody has relationship issues. Every fucking person, me included. There's no human being in any type of relationship that doesn't have some sort of issue. So I'll agree with you completely. And I am not one to hold people's personal and emotion and social failings against them at all. The only thing I really hold people against is how evil and mean they truly are. So I think that the discussion that I'm really mean and evil is actually this is almost kind of like a beautiful microcosm of the world. It's like maybe there really are psychopathic evil fucks out there who are really getting away with it, and a lot of the people who have valid feelings about evil people like you guys who have valid feelings about this are being tricked and misled into dumping and scapegoating those feelings onto somebody who's actually really on your side, but who maybe just represents some of those things that you're uncomfortable with, like masculinity or warrior culture or confidence and all these things, braggadocio attitude, these kind of things. I really don't think that any of this puts us at strong ideological odds with each other, because I think that it's really just good people with goodness in their hearts, which I think all of you probably fall under, because I haven't seen any real evidence of genuine evil from any of you. And I would say that I fall into the same category. We're all flawed brothers and sisters. Some of us are assholes. Some of you guys talk shit about me in the most petty, childish ways, and I forgive you like you guys should forgive me for being a little bit of a dick sometimes. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, just a brief insight, and just this is really quick. I have never been able to be like aggressive and like my voice and stuff with women, like calling them bitches. Just funnily, it's like even hard for me to type bitch to somebody.
For sure.
Like saying cunt to me is like, oh my God, don't, like on Discord, it's no big deal.
Yeah.
And I just don't have it in me, and I never have. And I do, like you were saying, I do envy it's not an envy. It's like, I'm like pissed that these guys can be dicks. And I remember it in high school, the jocks filling up the chicks in class.
For sure.
And I'm like, and they're just letting it happen. And I'm like, of course, I'm jealous, envious, and pissed.
Oh
And,
yeah, I agree.
Life, and I'm like, they're getting the bad guys are getting the girls.
I agree.
And it's just, I wish I could be a bad guy sometimes. And like, I guess the only way I could probably do that is if a woman insisted.
She might have to be a secret power bottom and pretend she's the sub, but she's really the dom who's forcing you to be the dom.
Yeah, because if I really care for a woman and maybe love them, I'll almost do anything for them up to certain things. Yeah.
Of course, any man will. Myself
If they get pleasure from me, like I'm not saying sexual, but if I bring them joy and happiness, it makes me actually happy. So I like, and I think that's very submissive of myself to be getting off only on their pleasure. It is, I'm not like, I don't expect to, like, when a woman comes with me and we're gonna have spend the night together, I don't expect things from her. I'm expecting her, to enjoy our company. But I'm just gonna keep rambling. Someone else needs to talk.
No, it's cool. I understand. I understand.
Sorry about that, Brandon.
No, it was good. I don't think it was rambling. I thought it was relevant.
Okay. So this let somebody else speak now, because I feel like you've come to some sort of agreement and you're maybe not so hostile towards each other now. So I think Eden wanted to speak earlier, but I told him not to interrupt.
Yeah, for sure. Eden, thanks for waiting so long, dude.
Yeah, it's no problem. So I don't think it's fair that anyone can play the victim. I think you and Ari are both childish in your own rights. Not just the debate, but since then. But what I want to address is, I came in earlier when it was just you and Brandon talking, and I was completely nice to you, completely fair. And then once I stopped talking, you addressed me as a faggot once I'd left. So let me finish my point before you go after me. Finish. And then the other point I want you to address is this being an echo chamber of people that just agree with each other. That is completely off base. There is hundreds of people in here, and most of them fucking argue all the time. There is serious debates, and there's a clash of thought every fucking day about a different subject. It's definitely not an echo chamber.
Okay, for sure.
Absolutely true.
And for SD's moderation, for all of you guys entertaining me as long as you have, and all these other things, I'll stop calling this an echo chamber. You guys do have some diversity of thought here. I guess the issue is just whether or not you can handle my flavor in the mix, and that's fine if you can.
We can handle it. It's just you don't have to be offensive about it. You don't have to call everyone retards and faggots.
Sure.
If you have your points,
I feel like I'm trying to make concessions, man.
Yeah, that's all I need though. You can't hand it out and then expect to not get it back.
And I'm fine with that. I would go to Third World War to keep fighting and escalating it, but I don't think that's what's going to really result in the world getting better and people getting better. It's like all of us are like a tiny little microcosmic fraction of the whole world. So how we treat these issues is maybe how they play out on a bigger scale, and maybe we should all, prove humanity is better than all of these faults that we all have, myself included.
Exactly. So you're not going to get kicked. No one's going to ban you or anything like that. Don't worry about that. And definitely not Patty because she's black and we don't let her do anything. But
and it's fine for people to flip me shit and criticize me and meme me and joke about me. That's absolutely logical, and that's village appropriate behavior. When you say ideas and you say points, they are going to be responded to organically, and I'm completely fine with that. I don't want anybody to hold back their punches or their criticisms of me or my positions at all. I want it to be 100% full force. Otherwise, myself and my positions aren't going to get any stronger.
Yeah, that's fine. And I hope that more people debate you so I can hear.
For sure, and I'd like to clarify that I really would like to try to prove that I can be a good boy and change for the crowd to some degree. I can't sacrifice my entire personality and my principles. I'll never sacrifice, even if you all were threatening to kill me. But I can sacrifice them for sociality and for good nature and for a small sacrifice for the human race to get a little better.
Yeah, no one's asking you to be a little simp or a good boy. Just stop calling everyone faggots and retards.
Okay, but hey, and for the record, when I say that, most of the time I don't call anybody in specific that. So it's more just like maybe I'm calling out an energy or a vibe that I'm feeling. So when I say you're all faggots, I'm not really saying you and you're all gay, you're all faggots, you're all this. It's like maybe this conversation just feels more mob psychology. I feel like maybe I just said a controversial statement on a college campus and the LGBT crowd's all screeching in my ear with their signs. Maybe that's what I'm trying to describe. I'm not literally saying everybody's faggots and I hate it.
You know, observation I just made,
What's that?
which is really funny. So far, like the two, I'm not saying this is sexist, by the way. It's just funny to me. The two women you've had like disagreement with, we had to just like end it because you all like shouting at each other and coming to an
Yeah.
agreement. And then the two guys you spoke to, yeah, it took
You
you
know,
out of
you know,
the
you know, you know what
conversation.
it is. You know what it is that boys and men always fight their rivals and then become friends. Look at Goku and Vegeta. Look at most manly relationships throughout history.
You
Started
can't
out
be
with men
bringing up
butting heads.
Dragon Ball Z right now.
Oh, yes, I can. Dragon Ball Z is life, bro. That is better than the Bible. If you want a guide on how to live your life, live by Dragon Ball. But no, I think the issue with me and the girls is just unresolved issues between masculinity and femininity as a whole, and I don't fault them for that, and I hope that they don't truly fault me for that. I think it's just things that are communication issues and methods of expression that will be understood in time.
Tiger, can I just say something real quick?
Absolutely.
I don't think you're a bad person or anything, right? Like we've been cordial before and after the debate in like our DMs, right? And we were nice to each other. I don't think you're a bad person. I just think it's like it doesn't fit into a debate, you know, all these like degrading words.
For
So.
sure. Maybe try to
I don't
separate the
think
shit talking vibe from actual
Mhm.
debate time. I can hear that.
Yeah, I don't think you're a bad person, and I don't think you like actually beat your wife just so you know. I don't think you like go up to women and
I know
throw
you
acid
don't.
at them. I just think it doesn't fit into a
For
debate.
sure. For sure, I agree with that, and I can agree with your guys' reticence and caution to accept anything that could look like a true misogynist, because that is a threat and a danger in modern ages. It was a threat for thousands of years because it was to some degree a patriarchy. I actually agree with feminists on that. I just maybe disagree with how we approach this shift and this change into a new age and how men are responding to it. And I will agree, there's a lot of crazy dudes that are becoming incels and weirdos and give me the pussy, I deserve the pussy just because I'm a man and we're meant to procreate. I agree, that's sick shit, and there's a lot of those kind of guys, and I would defeat 100 of them to protect one person.
It did SD get a reply earlier when he was trying to get Sid in here?
No, I don't think Sid is online right now.
No,
Unfortunately.
No slicer today.
Sid is a misogynist, you see.
Yeah, for sure. I was about to say, I've heard some of Sid's stuff. If you guys want to talk about the resident misogynist of the server, it's not me. If anything,
No,
I'm
no,
like
it's
a
not you.
pagan.
It is Sid.
No.
He is like a self-confessed and proud misogynist. So.
Yeah, but he
Yeah, for
doesn't
sure.
do it in debates. He doesn't say anything bad to us when we're like arguing. That's the difference. It's like you
Yeah.
are not actually a misogynist, but you say this stuff while we're debating. He is a misogynist and he keeps it quiet while debating. So that's why we don't have this talk with him. Because we don't
Instead,
need to.
he just like starts derailing into how I'm an idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but SD, I checked out some of the videos you posted on your YouTube channel, and surprisingly, Sid can be eloquent at times. I've heard him make some good points on a couple of those videos.
He can be, yeah. I mean, if it's something that's arranged or whatever, he will come in with the points that he would like to make,
sure.
And then we can question whether like how serious he is on those points and all that. But
yeah,
for the most part, I kind of believe him. Either way, I like Sid. I like him being around. I think he's a fun guy.
I do too. I do too. I think there's a place in the village for assholes and misunderstood types. That's just different than evil people that are trying to sneak in and destroy the village. Like yeah. That's more disruptive and bullshit to a community than anything I or Sid have said.
Oh yeah, I
he
forgot about
hasn't
that
been
guy.
around much because of me. Actually, he doesn't like me.
Who doesn't like you?
Sid.
Why not? What's your core disagreement?
Sid definitely doesn't like Brandon.
What's the issue there?
Well, I don't even remember how he.
To be honest, I don't either. Otherwise, I would have explained.
Yeah, well,
He
boil it
thought
down.
I
To
was
boil it down.
like for some reason he thought I was a home wrecker or something, and like he has like principles against that.
Adultery and stuff.
Yeah.
There was some randomness. Sid wasn't exactly justified in his position on that discussion, but he sticks around, and that's good. We kind of like having. Well, I like having him around. I mean, maybe other people don't, but
For sure.
At least we made progress. He was in a VC with me for a while actually. Like when was that?
Couple of nights ago.
Yeah.
well, I mean, I'm glad everybody is now getting along, and we're all friends here, right?
I think it's more him like for the sake of the community, just pretending.
Backing off. Yeah, kind of backing off the issue.